cover this, I don't know, later. A lot of interesting things I want to riff off of. Thing one, I'm very excited because I'm about to get the ball rolling on a upcoming presentation I'm going to do with Dissident. We're gonna get a live stream out doing the whole bit on the 2 seasons of Loki, within the framework of a bunch of stuff going on with me. I was just having a conversation with him last night, and I was sharing a few of my mind blowers, and him explaining all the correlations that my mind blowers have. So he and I are very, very excited to put a little show together that, to me, I hope to be worthy of being an addendum, an appendices, almost, one could possibly say, of the Interverse deep dives on the Loki series, which have been absolutely fucking phenomenal. I would also recommend checking out Symphony of Reality's podcast. Sean Bond and Chris Anatra, they did a really good breakdown of Loki season 1, which then inspired me to do a Loki season 1 video myself. At that time, it was on my old channel, and at that time, it didn't get uploaded to Odyssey or BitChute. So unfortunately, that video was lost. Other Loki videos I have up predate all of that. They're very, very old, and it's the old version of me. We all know what that guy was like. In and out. Chronic breathing. But anyway, I'm sitting here, and a big part of looking at the Loki series has been a very good reflection, right? And the big message that's going to be coming across is the difference between Odin and Loki because of the series. So we're going to be getting into that on my end of it. Come on, you dumb cunt. Now I go, then you maybe go. Come on. There you go. All right. Anywho. That's right, I just said dumb cunt. Isn't drive streaming fun? So anyway. Those of us that have the most difficult time having and keeping people in our lives, having and keeping, a stable world, or stable Dasein, if you will, right? Is by having, some sort of foundational principles that you stand upon. And we all run around under the assumption that that standing principle is, strong, but also everybody has this integrity. To take a listen to new information when it is, sound and rational information, right? When we watch these TV shows and things like that, when somebody comes up, when somebody discovers a tricky situation, right? Something that you understand it being a viewer of what's going on the show or the movie, and then but you also realize that you are vicariously living through a character who may not know what they're looking at, right? And so you're going through this journey of understanding a situation through the main character's eyes. So this is your Sherlock Holmes situation, or your Quatermass. Yeah, that's right. I just mentioned Quatermass. Do you know Quatermass? And in a number of other examples, like movie culture. I've been happily divorced from movie culture in my mind a great deal. Helps me appreciate the art form without getting thrown into the stardom of it all, even if I'm referencing films that are stardom style films, like the Avengers universe and such. All right. Because despite the Loki series running the purpose of giving Disney on the business political side its cop-out to make movies that they don't have to continually reference other movies, right? So now they can just make Marvel movies and none of them have to be fucking related to each other at all, thus putting it into an era of independent projects as opposed to working towards a big bad, right? Because I don't really even, I don't think there's quite going to be an Avengers movie coming up. It's just like Avengers is out of gas as far as being exciting and getting people to the theaters. In fact, we're living in a time where people don't consider getting to the theaters exciting anymore, right? So a world has shifted in that respect, right? Nobody's really into the midnight premiere of the big blockbuster that has been your heart's desire, that they promised they'd make a film out of after 20 years, etc., right? It's not happening for Dune. It's not happening for any of these other things. So anyway. So people have much stronger foundations of ideas that have really consumed their world, consumed their mind. And that is a big reason why you may not be the person to wake them up. Because you're asking them to move to a completely alien harmonic frequency than the song that you're fucking playing. Your key is different, your tempo is different, your cadence is different, your tone is different. Everything's different. And it's alien, and they have certain feelings about those things on the outside. And most of those things are perhaps attached to qualities of who they believe the enemy is also. Because I've seen with me, watching myself subvert expectations because I show up as myself, and then myself doesn't always, what comes out of my mouth isn't always what people expect from someone who presents himself as I do. You get a certain sense of ideas and values from, like I do. And I think the difference between the narcissist and someone like me, who has that that self-evaluation and such, is that before I realized it, I was acting a certain way, right? I think the narcissists, they realize that nobody cares about what they care about, but that they don't care when it comes to are you capable of putting yourself aside for something, right? You know, a lot of people that a lot of people, a big one for me is somebody, a kid in a conservative home being told, cut your hair or whatever. Then at a certain point, like, they wouldn't be telling me, oh, just cut my hair so you fit into society. They're trying to appeal to some sort of guilt complex or something. They say you should, you got this beautiful hair, why don't you give it to Locks for Love? Right? So, now my hair is not worthy of myself, it is only worthy of those who have decided to take radiation therapy to cure their cancer. Right? That's it. That's who gets my hair. Right? And I'm just like, I refuse to be considered a fucking narcissist or selfish because of this. I'm not going to sit here and let your belief system that I'm being selfish be true. Because there's no way you can dictate that. I can merely accept it. And you have to understand that that's the conversionary, that's the religious mindset, which is a Christian mindset, a Buddhist. It's a Buddhist mindset, not Buddhism as you've seen it. Because you have to get into the weeds with it, right? I just saw, I watched only a few minutes of it because I was getting really frustrated with the conversation, and it's a great example in at least the early part, the way it hits. Gnostic informant, who I like his work, and then some guy, I forget his name, I guess Zen Shapiro is like his Zoom handle I saw on the screen, and he talks kind of like Ben Shapiro. I guess he's a Christian, and so it's the Christian and then like the secular humanist, and there's some nuance there, where the Christian kind of is just like secular is atheist. He's just like, no, it's not, right? Like, but the big thing is that Neil, the Gnostic informant, he doesn't understand, right? Just like Lady Babylon, Dr. Amon doesn't understand the adversary. They don't understand their own adversary. They want to be the Shaitan, right? They want to be the Shaitan to the Christian, to liberate the world from this doctrine of forcing someone to be something, like the way my family forced me to be a man of uptight grooming. Who was there? Who is that? Is that I saw Moose? I saw Moose. Hi, Moose. What was going on here? I need more light. Now I can read. Yes, dude, I see you all over the alternative channels like Gnostic Informant and the like. Widely read and watched. Thank you. Yeah, exactly. Because I'm an Ayn Randian objectivist, and so like the objectivist true objectivist doesn't have this problem, right? There's a lot of people that are Randians that are not objectivists, and they live in their own bigotries. Hey, what's up, Kachina? So I'm watching these two have this fucking argument, and and sadly, Neil is just sitting there, and his rebuttal is that your religion is wrong. Your religion is based on a lie, and because and then the other guy is just like, oh, do you just want degeneracy? All right, these are two bigots. These are two bigots having this conversation, and sadly, the one that I agree with more, Gnostic informant, doesn't know how to fucking defend his position. These people, they don't understand Norse pagans. They understand Greco-Roman pagans. That's like, Lady Babylon understands that. He understands white ancestry, that way. He doesn't get it with what the Norse bring to the table. Like straight up, like, Gnostic informant, like, thinks that all pagans were, like, by and large liberal. Yeah, there were conservative pagans, but by and large it was liberal because, the moral code, in their religion and da-da-da-da-da, right? Which, of course, you can ignore all the laws that were pagan laws about sodomy and things. We can totally ignore that, right? Yep. Then you had this other, and then the other issue of just, like he made this point. Oh, look, pagans believed the Earth was round first, and it was you guys that said the Earth was flat, right? And it was just like, there was no authority. Like the authoritarianizing of what people thought the realm was came from the church. Otherwise, it was no fucking institution's fucking interest. The cults had no interest in it. It was a secular endeavor, for sure. Right? But by and large, the way the language of the mythos unfolds itself, it works within your frame of reference, and everybody's frame of reference is like my frame of reference. Eventually, you hit a horizon line, and you can't see further, right? And nobody was getting high enough to determine with their own eyes a curve, so on and so forth. And my understanding is that windows on airplanes are bubbled. So if there is a curve, that curve is warped into a more severe curve because of a bubbled window. Or it's flat and it's just got a slight curve, which thus makes it fall in line with all the NASA pictures. But anyway, people didn't know what it was. People didn't know what it was. And just because, all the people started listening to the scientists who had a theory, kind of more of a hypothesis based on measuring shadows, etc., and that's how it came to be. Now, your mind can split at that point. You can follow the world of that ma'at, of that math, or you can go back and ask yourself, what are your standards of truth and proof? We need standards of truth and standards of proof for all of these ideas to properly work. All right. Speaking of work, I am here. So go check out what's going on, Gnostic Informant versus that guy. Because you've got two, like, it sounds like that guy, if he's like a very popular kind of like Ben Shapiro vein of talking about religion and stuff, Like, it's like I have no idea who he is. But I would go check it out and go make a study of how that pans out, right? Right, because this is like your gnosis, Gnostic informant, doesn't mean dick, because if you're going to debate with your gnosis, then part of your gnosis is who you're debating. And if you're going to start making claims about who you're debating, you have to know them better. You have to be able to lay it out. You have to be able to have at the forefront of your mind all of the sources that you want to reference. Because you can't just fall apart and say, no, it's just lies. Right? And like, because something I noticed with him there, and it's what I noticed with the energy and the posture with Lady Babylon and his people. Twitchy, a little twitchy. I'm not saying they're on drugs, right? Although I'm sure they're on drugs because they're talking about how much they want to get into the burning purple for themselves. Sure, why not? That sounds interesting. I'll try it. The burning purple, why not? But anyway, my point is that their reptilian brain, they're very defensive and insecure. This is defensive and insecure on a physical level. And so these are both the kinds of people that are just trying to groom the state to have a strong posture against each other's straw men. It's fucking absurd. It's fucking absurd. You know, this is why if those two become the crux of the Civil War, I'm going to sit on the sidelines. I'm not going to be involved with it. I'm not going to be involved with it because they don't understand. Neither one wants to understand the other. Neither one has the ability to sit with it because of deep lies that we tell ourselves. We were told these lies, and we chose to believe them, and then we want to place blame on them without putting blame on ourselves for being dupes and not even knowing whether that person knew that they were really lying to us when they incepted us with these ideas about what each other's values actually are. And this is not even conspiracy theory anymore. This is just a problem with the current human condition. When that, you know, when your mom or your dad, who ain't nobody to nobody, starts being like that to you. At any rate, I got to get to work. I can't read all this stuff, so I'll catch you guys later. Message me somewhere with these thoughts. I'll catch you guys later.